Good morning. I want to talk about educational robotics here for a few minutes. I've been involved in educational robotics since 2010 and came into it kind of through the back door. One of those serendipitous occurrences where my background in teaching and in organizing at the nonprofit level, organizing volunteers and putting on events, led to me getting hired by the University of Idaho, where I was very happily working alongside of their fabulous 4-H extension staff for a number of years. And my primary task there was to promote, train volunteers, promote educational robotics, and then put on a series of events, competitions throughout the state. And so this is really middle through high school level, and the robotics programs that I was involved in were the first robotics programs, First Lego League and First Tech Challenge. And First Lego League is very well known. First Tech Challenge is the high school kind of next level up from that, and that stayed as a part of what I do almost this entire time. We now have a local educational robotics club that's robust. We have 5 coaches, several mentors, a total of 3 teams and growing. And so just wanted to give a quick plug for why I value that type of learning in that program. I don't have a background in programming. I don't have a background in engineering design at all, but I see the value in it for several reasons. One, it is a team-based approach. There are multiple jobs, and there's a clear goal in competing at a tournament or a championship, and that competition looks like presenting a presentation that's prepared for, well put together, where everyone has a speaking role. That includes a robot game challenge where it's the culmination of the engineering and programming that leads to the ability of the team to compete in this game. And then lastly, there's community outreach and an engagement project. And so I love that type of learning because I think this team-based format is something that happens a lot in the real world. So there's some real world applicability there. But also it's all about functioning in community. Can you work with your neighbor? Can you see his talents and your talents? Can your diverse interests and skill sets and abilities come together and work towards a common goal? And I don't think that can be overvalued. A lot of what's wrong with institutional education is that every kid is kind of like a silo, right? And so there's an incredible focus on the individual, even in Christian education. And so I think this team-based model is really useful. I also like the fact that there's a problem to be solved, right? And so it's a project or problem-based type of learning approach where there's a clear end, there's a product at the end, and we know that we need to solve that problem to be able to do well in this type of learning environment. And the third thing is that it really is truly STEM integrated. STEM has been the buzzword for 20 years. It's not really waning. Some people are irritated and kind of tired and ready to move on, but I think it still works well. And so science, tech, engineering, and math, this is truly an integrated educational project that I would say doesn't overemphasize one of those and then get rid of some on the other end. A lot of STEM actually just means tech, and that's not really fair, honest, and the technology is important. It has its place. But one thing I love about educational robotics, it does actually value each of those 4 STEM parts of the acronym well. Using the science process and the material science in particular, using the technology available. There are always new programming languages and techniques, and there are always new bits of engineering design that come along, and there's an incredible amount of math that's required to do that programming well, but also just to do the engineering design process well, using CAD, using some of these other technologies and apps that I think well integrate STEM. So those are the top 3 reasons that I love educational robotics, First Lego League and First Tech Challenge in particular. 1, again, it's team-based. 2, it's problem-based. And 3, it really does do STEM integration well.